Notre Dame football has officially set me into an alternate reality. I have no idea what I'm watching anymore, but let's talk about it next. Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports breaking down everything Notre Dame football. Folks, very interesting game that the Fighting Irish just had. First victory of the 2025 season, 56-30 over the Purdue Boilermakers. And in most years, at least when Purdue has been good in recent memory, a 26-point victory would look like a pretty awesome outing for Notre Dame. But unfortunately, if you saw the game, the same inconsistencies and frustrations are evidently there. First and foremost, you give up 30 points to Purdue, a team that you are just much more talented than, defensively to their offense. You also gave up over 300 yards passing. While Ryan Brown has been improved, while Barry Odom has done a good job in a short amount of time, at least getting some life into this program, letting up over 300 yards after you give up over 360 last week to Texas A&M and Marcel Reed is not a good, it's just not a good sign. You are talented on the back end. I know you were banged up right there, but even when you have to throw guys in there like Dallas Golden, like Tay Johnson, you are still much more talented than Purdue. And yet, very troubling. And you did not see the improvements that you were hoping to from a pure just communication perspective and being in better spots and not allowing for some chunk plays. And it is now the year 2025 where you went into the season. What was the certainty that you thought? Notre Dame, even with the transition from Al Golden to Chris Ash, defensive coordinator, you thought Notre Dame is still going to be one of the better defenses in all of college football. And you expected, hey, if Notre Dame's offense under redshirt freshman quarterback C.J. Carr can take the necessary steps and get better incrementally throughout the year, you had to feel good about Notre Dame's chances to potentially be in the playoffs again and to make a run if all the stars align. Well, the offensive side of the football, a lot of positives. You scored 40 points against Texas A&M. You made some timely plays in the second half against Miami, and you just scored 56 points where in the fourth quarter, you took out your starters and you called off the dogs. This could be 60-plus point performance very easily. But for the first time in a long time, because Notre Dame has been very fortunate at defensive coordinator. Even before Al Golden, you had Marcus Freeman. Before that, you had Clark Lee. You had Mike Elko. You have had a great run of defensive coordinators. But for years, it has been about, hey, when that 1 year happens, when the offense holds their weight and matches the defense, that complementary football we always hear from head coach Marcus Freeman, that is when Notre Dame can make a legitimate run and not just make a playoff run, not just make a national championship appearance, but potentially win the thing. That's when those stars potentially could align. And while we're seeing that improvement offensively and starting to see C.J. Carr throw for over 200-something yards on only 10 completions this weekend, and Jeremiah Love going for over 160 yards and getting back on track, and Jordan Faison going for over 100 yards, and the offensive line showing improvements, all those things, and now we're left saying, where did the defense go? And I feel like I'm in alternate reality right now. For years and years and years, this was a defensive-led program. They were led by a really strong defensive line, and recently a dynamic secondary over the last couple years, one of the best pass defenses in college football. And all of a sudden, our realities got flipped on our head, and now we're left wondering, when does this get better under Chris Ash? How does it get better? Yes, it's only been 3 games, but you just gave up 30 points and over 300 passing yards to Purdue. That is a horrible sign, and I'm still left wanting more, and I'm still left wondering what the next step is. Folks, love to put it in the chat. If I'm being too harsh, tell me. Love to hear your comments. Victory for Notre Dame. Would love to hear if you're feeling positive about this. Talk offense if you want. Talk defense. But I really want to hear about this just weird reality that we are currently living in with Notre Dame. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe on your way out. And as always, go Irish.